Hey, hope all is well. Bless up to you all. With a lot of rising costs and inflation out here, we're watching rents go up. We're watching communities. There's a lot of corporations are buying whole neighborhoods, and they're converting the neighborhoods to rental spaces. A lot of our young working adults, they have not been, educated about the importance of ownership, owning a piece of property. And a lot of people say, well, you don't really own it. But there's a difference between having a mortgage or paying something off and renting. When you're renting, you walk away with nothing, none of the equity. You're paying the taxes, you're paying the insurance, you're paying the maintenance, no matter what people tell you. The only difference is there's a corporation that has bought in these neighborhoods at a low rate because they're buying in masses. And then they're bundling everything. They're bundling insurance packages. They're bundling the cost of everything, right? And it all goes kind of like basically to the same thing, right? It all boils down to the same thing in the end. My question is, I find out that one of the most hardest things there is to do is to collaborate, to come together with people. For some reason, corporations are there that brings people together and allows us to contribute and build the corporations like these communities. We're willing to pool in our resources, not understanding that we're pooling in our resources to a corporation, and then the corporation is doing something that we should be doing in our own community. For some reason, we get to the part where we feel like, I don't know what's the reason, there's various reasons. Some people, they break apart for various reasons, whether it's just a strife, misunderstanding, or what have you. But I just imagine if we could pool together our resources, if we could have the connection, whether we call it, whatever we call it, but we can have just a nation and a unity of resources. And then we could bring down the costs, and we could be the corporation. How do you mitigate some of these increased costs? Costs will rise. There's no way to kind of curve that down. But here in the state of Florida, a lot of homeowners are losing their insurance. Some of them are having to change insurance companies. There's the larger insurance companies that are able to swallow up the bulk of the share. They're going to have control, and you're not going to have any options. And when you don't have any options, you do certain things. So this is what I foresee in our future. If we don't learn how to unite and pull together our resources and ensure one another through support, through collaboration, then you're going to have people doing their own thing. You're going to have people in $500,000 houses with no home insurance. You're going to have people that's taking a chance on this thing called life, which is, long ago, they didn't have insurance. People built a house. They got the land, they secured the land, they cleared the land, and they built a house. But they built a house based on their needs, not some of their wants. And they built it based on functionality. And when a storm hit, guess what? They repaired it. They repaired it on their own through blood, sweat equity, right? And when it was real bad, guess what happened? The community got together and helped each other, right? Family used to stay together. They didn't used to just separate and go their separate ways across the country. But there used to be communities, compounds, where people collaborated, got together. What I would like to see, and my goal and my hope is to not only motivate people to buy and own your land, not rent. Renting is fine, But hopefully you'll let the rent be temporarily until the situation changes, because with rent, you have no control over anything, not even whether you're going to stay there or not. I get it if that's what you have to do for this time, but trying to work towards ownership. And understand, a lot of times we think we need a lot of stuff. I look at these 3,000, 4,000 square foot houses and 2 people live in them. Most of the time we don't even need that. But it looks good. But it looks good to who? Or sometimes we'll buy a whole big old house, and nothing wrong with it. It's your money. But I'm just saying, think about it. You buy a whole 4,000 or 5,000 square foot house for when guests come over. And maybe guests might come over. If you combine every single time a guest come over, you may combine it into 1 year. 1 year, I mean, not 1 year, 1 week out of a year. You combine it into 1 week out of a year. That's just simply not enough. It's simply just not enough. So we just have to combine our resources and be more useful based on what we're doing. We got to think about what we're doing. We got to be intentional about our spending, and also understand that we need one another. Get past the things that really don't make any sense, you know. We're here only for a short period of time. We got to unite. We got to unify what we're doing. I get it. Sometimes we get on each other's nerves, but the love, the compassion, and the overall mission got to supersede our feelings on some things, you know. We got to be respectful. We got to learn how to communicate, yeah? Let's learn how to talk to each other. Tell each other no and be okay. Tell each other that you was wrong. And be able to say, you know what? I'm sorry, you know? Because we got to move forward. There's no way in the world one family, it used to be where one individual, normally the man, paid for every single thing. And the wife took care of the family. Now it's getting to the part where it took 2. And now we're getting to the part where 2 is not even enough. Somewhere we're going to have to start building a community. A community where we don't need Social Security. A community where we don't need any handouts, any subsidies, anything from external parts. A community where we grow the lion's share of our food. A community where we help with expenses and disasters. A community where we share our talents, our mission in life, you know. If you're good at woodworking, you're good at electrical, we got to employ our community, build up our community. And wherever we're lacking, we got to hit the books and hit the research and learn about them and share it with each other. So I said all that to say is, how do you mitigate this cause? How do you mitigate all this inflation? You do that through unity. Corporations do it all the time. Corporations have said, hey, we must adjust. If people need a place to stay and they're not buying homes, but they're renting, we will go and buy some of these communities, and then we will create a rental system, a rental community, a place where people can come pay their rent, don't have to worry about maintenance, don't have to worry about lawn care, don't have to worry about insurance, don't have to worry about taxes. They can just pay one flat fee. And you think you're saving, but you're really crawling into a situation where it can get out of control. And that's the last thing you want to do, is not be in control of what you need to do. So be mindful what you're doing, and it's okay if all you can do is afford a 1 bedroom, 1 bath for right now. It's okay if it's 4 or 5 people living in a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, but it's decent, it's clean, and it's temporary, just like rent. It's only temporary. You get that, You mitigate your costs, you stop the bleeding, you stop the overflow of expenses going out. Then you build equity. You take that equity out of that 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and then you choose to either rent it as you're saving your money, or you choose to liquidate it and buy something that's a 2-2 or a 3-2 or a 4-2 when the time is right, when the economy is struggling and you are now in a position of control, and now you are in a position of empowerment. It takes patience, but you can do it. You can do it. Be wise about what you do. Don't go outside your lane. Don't go outside your comfortability, no matter what Sue, John, or Jason is doing. Stay inside of your means. If you only have a certain amount of resources every month, you only have a certain amount of income, stay inside of that certain amount of income, right? Because you never can tell. You never can tell. So stay inside your resources of the income and then stay inside your lane. That's very important. I hope this is helpful to you all. I hope it invokes change, and I hope it invokes thought. And don't be dismayed, because it starts with you, starts with your goal, your mind, and your dreams. And trust me, you can do it, y'all. If you only make $4,000 a month, make sure that your rent is no more than $1,000, or your mortgage is no more than $1,000. Simple math. Some people say that's not possible. If that's not possible, granted, you might not need that new car right now. You might need that paid for car right now. So then, instead of you paying $500, $600, $800 a month for that car, you can bump up your house. You know what I'm saying? Just pivot. So now you got $1,200 or $1,300 because you're not having a car payment. Everything is flexible. These are just guidelines. But try not to go too far outside of that one week. That 1 week. Try not to go outside of whatever you make in that 1 week. If you get paid weekly, get paid bi-weekly, try not to go beyond that bi-weekly. Try to be real close to where you can pay your mortgage and pay for food and pay for everything else. So with that said, y'all, I hope y'all have a blessed day. Hope y'all continue to grow. And I hope you all continue to be blessed. Y'all take care.